Churchill's mother slept with the future king and had 200 lovers. Ginny Jerome and Lord Randolph Churchill married in April 1874. Their son Winston was born less than 8 months later. He was rather healthy for a premature baby. It was suspected he was conceived before the marriage. Ginny had many extramarital affairs. She was often alone while Randolph worked. She allegedly had more than 200 lovers. An American magazine called her Lady Jane Snatcher. Her second son allegedly wasn't Randolph's child. Ginny had little time for her sons. They were raised by a nanny. Ginny sent Winston to boarding school when he was 8. Despite this, Winston adored his mother. He sent her letters, begging her to visit him at school, but she was too preoccupied with her own life. Neither of his parents visited Winston on his 13th birthday. He returned to an empty house for Christmas. His parents had gone to Russia together. Ginny only became closer to Winston as he grew up. She helped him build his reputation as a politician. She became his confidant and advisor. Among Ginny's lovers was Prince Albert Edward, the future Edward VII. She often welcomed him at her home, alone. She hired a famous cook to prepare dinners for him. Ginny called the prince Tum Tum. The prince referred to her as Ma Chère. He sent her intimate letters. In one, he asked if he could visit her for Japanese tea. The prince was referring to a kimono she would wear for him. Unfortunately, Ginny's letters have been lost. Edward VII was crowned in 1902. Ginny sat in a special pew in Westminster Abbey. People dubbed the pew the loose box. Ginny shared it with other royal mistresses. She and Randolph reportedly had an open marriage. He preferred rough women to society ladies like his wife. Ginny enjoyed her place as the wife of a rising politician, but when he resigned, divorce was seriously discussed. However, the marriage survived. Ginny was in love with Austrian Count Charles Kinsky. Randolph didn't seem to mind. He enjoyed the Count's company. When Randolph got sick, Ginny hoped to marry Kinsky. However, he got engaged to another woman. Ginny was 41 when Randolph died. 2 years later, she met George Cornwallis West. He was only 26 days older than Winston. His family objected to their marriage. Ginny thought George would inherit 2 large estates, but he actually had no money at all. He was declared bankrupt in 1914, and she divorced him. At 65 years old, Ginny married again. Montague Porch was 3 years younger than Winston. He was a son of a Somerset landowner. Ginny's life ended suddenly. One day, she slipped on a staircase. A bad fracture ended in gangrene. Her leg had to be amputated. A couple of months later, she suffered a fatal hemorrhage. Her young husband returned too late from a trip abroad. He found an empty house and a mountain of his wife's debts.